věc.
Something. For example, and he's standing and looking for them. And then this one can lay at the same time. So for my sculptures, I use the bread. These figures I made by bread, and for me it's like a symbolic material. And in Russia we have the tradition that real prisoners making something by bread because they haven't another material for make something. So for me, this prison tradition it's near my, I don't know, kind of thinking, the understanding of life, because for me it's two traditions inside this project, inside this material. So one is the tradition that prisoners make something by bread, and another is coming from Christian culture, that the bread is the symbol of the body of the Christ. But for me it's like a symbol of the body, because in Russia the bread is the symbol of food. After the Second World War, and I think that before it was so. And in Christian culture we have this famous sentence that the body is the prison of the soul. So this like a mystical prison, existential prison, our body, and we have at the same time the real prison, with the real prisoners making something by bread. So it's come together in my mind, and this is the theme of my work. I work with this material, with such kind of style of work for more than 10 years. So, and to exhibit these figures here, it's a good context for the work, because in past Káznice is a prison. This ground, it's by chance, it's not the idea, but in result it's from the cemetery in France, and it's near the graves of the soldiers of the First World War. So, and this is like a game, like a cubes that children play, build something. So the meaning for me that for the Putin or other chips, we are like a ground, like they are fighting for the piece of the ground, and they can mix the people and ground You can move the people and the piece of ground. This is like the same for our chiefs, for the presidents, and for me it's terrible, because for me each person have their own character, have their own history, have their own soul, and we are different. But for them, we are all the same size, just nothing. They can change me to you, you to me, and no different between us. We just need to take the gun and can to kill. That's all. So I understand at the same time that the view of this work, it can be like a Egyptian works from the 1,000 years ago, but I think that the history changed a little, and it's impossible to use such kind of thinking in 21st century. But in real, this is the same, like 100 years ago, 50 years ago, and 1,000 years ago, the same. We are like slaves for our kings, because Putin like a king. Nobody can speak any word against him inside. Now, the problem of the people suffering, it's very big problem for me. Big problem, yes, big problem. And in my art, I make something about the suffering of the body and suffering of the people. For example, at once I think that maybe it's not only in my family, but in my family, my parents like poor or dead man, but not rich and happy. And so when I try to understand myself from my childhood, so for me to be loved by somebody, I need to be poor or deaf. So now I understand it, and but in the beginning of life I don't understand it. So I don't want to be dead, but I use this in my art and my way of thinking now. This suffering, I use it. Because this is the question for me, the big question for the God, for example, why people need to suffer. Because in life we have a lot of suffer. This is writing performance, and in the same time I produce this minimal graphic. I started on 16th of December of last year when I was in Paris, and the finish of this work will be when the war ends. So I have very, very hard feeling about it and want the war to end, but I couldn't do anything. A lot of people want it, but couldn't do anything to stop this. So, but I have this feeling, and it's like a sublimation of this feeling. I try to write every day the same sentence. I want the war to end. Я хочу, чтобы кончилась война. Я хочу, щоб війна скінчилась. Je veux que la guerre se termine. So I use different languages, but I know just Russian and English. And here in Czech, I try to write in Czech. Я имею в виду, что, и как правило, люди взрывают эти шарики, потому что, это прикольно.
Většinou lidé propíchnou tady ty balónky, protože je to takové jako... Wow.
И здесь у нас очень хорошая акустика, и эти взрывы, они похожи на реальные выстрелы.
Je tady dobrá akustika, takže když se propíchne balónek, tak to zní jako reálný výstřel.
И, соответственно, я думаю, что чувства, которые испытывает человек, который протыкает этот шарик, они немного похожи на чувства того человека, который нажимает на кнопку, на спусковой крючок автомата или что-то в этом роде, что эти чувства, они заложены внутри человека в принципе, на разрушение, да, на создание какого-то вот такого эффекта.
Mám takový pocit, že člověk pociťuje trošku podobný, zažívá trochu podobný pocit, když propichuje ten balónek jako člověk, který mačká na spoušť pistole a vlastně ho to nějakým způsobem vnitřně rozruší. Nebo
И, в качестве, примера сегодняшний перформанс показал, что как только один человек не проткнул шарик, после него другие тоже стали делать это же. Но до этого момента все делали, и им дается возможность, гвоздь, значит, надо это сделать. Хотя это не проговаривается, это не обязательно это делать.
Dneska se ukázalo, že dokud první člověk si nevezme balónek s tím, že ho nepropíchne, tak do té doby to všichni udělají.
Yeah. Yes, when you put your head inside this hole and after close the eyes, or open the eyes, it's like a new world. for the few seconds, like so I say like newborn, because
Yes.
you are coming from the darkness to to the
Lightness.
earth.